Welcome back to the Rookie Numbers Podcast. I'm your host, Bryson Shank. Alongside me are your co-hosts, Nathan Wilt and Peter Schaefer. Unfortunately, we're without Trent today, wearer of many hats.
We're going to miss the hats.
He will be greatly missed this episode.
It's going to be tough without him.
This is episode 7. Let's get to it. So, as we all know, playoffs have started this week. Best time of the year. And this week, we're just diving into every series. We're going to give you guys our predictions for how we think each round's going to go, our eventual finals winners, and, some takes about players and stuff too. So I think we'll start off the Nuggets Timberwolves series. Right now, we're recording this episode at around 8:30 Sunday night, so this is before they've played. I think this should be a pretty good series, even though, it's 1 seed versus 8 seed. I think, Minnesota can keep up with Denver for a little bit, at least.
I disagree. I think Denver's just going to kind of just outmaneuver them. I mean, they can put Jokic in some funny situations, but I really don't see Minnesota taking more than a game from them.
Yeah, honestly, me too. I mean, the only game in the first round I have ending in a sweep is this one right here.
Really?
I got the Denver Nuggets sweep.
I mean, I have Nuggets in 6. I think they'll take care of Minnesota. I don't think, it's going to be an issue. But I do think Minnesota can cause some problems. I think what they do well will kind of expose Denver a little bit. And they have double bigs, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. That being said, I think Nikola Jokic is going to have a very good series versus this team.
I mean, if they run Cat at the 5, I've been seeing some rumors they might do that. I have my concerns with Jokic there, making him do some more, get out there a little bit, get out of his comfort zone. That might be trouble. Gobert's a solid defender, obviously, but I don't see him taking more than a game. I got him in 5.
Well, I think the Timberwolves would be a little silly to run Gobert and Cat at the same time this series.
Yeah.
Like you said, Towns, who is on the Timberwolves, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks.
Who is on the Timberwolves, exposes some, issues with Jokic. And I think having Gobert come off the bench would be good for them. If you start both of them, you can put Jokic on Gobert, not have him guard anything the whole series.
You can really hide Jokic
and then
Gobert's out there.
And then put Aaron Gordon on Cat, which I think is a good matchup for the Nuggets. I think Minnesota would be stupid to start both of them, despite investing so much into both these guys.
Yeah. Fair point.
Yeah.
And they're without McDaniels and Naz Reid. Big losses, but I don't think turning points.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had them, I could see it going to 6, but that's a little extra push. Maybe wins them a game.
Right.
I don't see it really affecting the grand scheme.
Not a series changer.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
I think Anthony Edwards has a pretty good matchup this series. I think he's going to get his own.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray too. I think they're both going to play very well. Similar to what we saw Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray do back in the bubble.
For sure.
Yeah. Should be a good series though. I think. Like I said, I have Denver in 6. You have Denver in 4, Peter. Nate, Denver in 5. Denver's winning the series pretty much no matter what. But, I think the Timberwolves can give them some trouble here and there. And they play tonight. Next series we got Phoenix Suns, LA Clippers. This one should be good. I mean, Paul George is out for the rest of the first round.
Yeah.
At least. We don't know how long he'll be out for after that. Either way, I got Phoenix in 6. I have Phoenix in 6 too, but I will say Paul George healthy this series. I would have taken the Clippers in 7. I really like Paul George. I think he added a lot to this team, a lot that would stop the Suns and all the stuff they're gonna do. But I just don't see the Clippers being able to
outpace the Suns here.
Now, me personally, initially I wasn't a huge fan of the Kevin Durant trade. Obviously, Kevin Durant is awesome.
Yeah,
you want him on your team.
Yeah.
But I thought initially they gave up too much. I've gotten invested in this Phoenix team. Honestly, I haven't getting by at 5. I have Phoenix winning this series regardless of if Paul George is healthy. No, I think it goes to 7 with a healthy Paul George. And I think a lot of people are going to think the same thing. But Phoenix got so many playmakers. They got so many guys. I mean, and playoff experience too. That plays a big factor in it. Obviously the Clippers have Kawhi Leonard, which, as we all know, is a very, very good playoff performer.
Some could say.
But I think
he should give KD his fair share of troubles. Make it an interesting series.
Yeah.
But I think the Suns just have more weapons to outdo them.
I do think the Suns offensively are the best team in the playoffs.
They
I would agree
very
with
well
that.
could be.
You know,
On paper, yes.
With
Yeah.
Golden State struggles, I think the Suns offensively are the scariest team to face in the playoffs, just based on offense alone. Devin Booker's their second option. As the first option, I don't want to keep that team to the finals because it was they had a very good team overall.
Yeah, solid team.
That year. But as a number one option, Devin Booker took his team to the finals. With the help of Chris Paul and
That's
DeAndre
true.
Ayton, who are
That's
still
true.
here, and now they have Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I think, Paul George would probably take it to 7, having Paul George there. I still got Phoenix, like Peter said.
Yeah.
And the Clippers will put up a fight. They're still a good team. They've been a good team since Paul George went out. And I really think their wing depth is going to give Phoenix a little bit of trouble. I have them taking 2 games from Phoenix, but overall I think Phoenix is fine offensively, defensively. They're a very complete team. I think they have them getting past this tough Clippers team. It's a tough match. Yeah, for sure. I do have the Suns moving on to round 2. Yeah. So game 3 here in the West. This was my favorite game of the first
For
weekend.
sure.
Me
This
too.
was an amazing
Me
game.
too.
Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. Now, we have already seen the game, and before the series started, I had Golden State in 7. I want to stick with it. I want to stick with Golden State in 7, although I'm a little worried seeing the first game.
Me personally, I'm in the same boat as you, except I'm switching. I have the Kings in 7. Originally, I had Golden State in 7 because, for me, valuing playoff predictions has a lot to do with experience.
Yeah.
Like Golden State
No, it absolutely
and their
does.
guys have a lot of playoff experience.
Yeah.
But something about this Sacramento team, man, I think they're going to pull it off in 7 games.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not one of these flip-floppy guys. All my predictions are still locked in from day one.
Mine as well.
I've
Mine as
not
well.
changed mine. There's no changes. I have Sacramento in 7. I think they're lighting the beam 4 times this series. I don't see how the Warriors are going to come into Sacramento and get a home win. That place was rocking an hour before the game started. They were waiting outside, and there was light the beam chants.
Yeah.
Team is special. It's got great energy in the building. It's got great energy on the floor. This team is just one of the best offenses, one of the most fun offenses I've watched since KD was a Warrior. I'm not saying it's that level of greatness. I'm just saying in terms of enjoyment as a basketball fan, it's up there. And I think Sabonis alone is going to give them troubles inside. And if they're going to come in on Sabonis like they did in that last game, the shooters are going to tear them apart. I got the Kings in 7.
No, and I mean Mike Brown was on that Warriors team with KD.
Yeah.
He was coaching that Warriors team, running the same offense, and you know what? Doing it better this season.
Yeah, and may I say, he should be the coach of the year.
Oh,
I don't think this
absolutely.
is a discussion. I don't think it should have been. This is a pretty open and shut case for me. It's Mike Brown.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Like you, I'm sticking with my day 1 predictions.
Yeah.
Before we saw any of these teams play. Now, what does worry me about the Warriors this series? The Kings' defense actually played very well.
Yeah, they
last night.
looked very solid.
Especially in the second half. There, they held Golden State to poor shooting.
Yeah,
just
well,
all around.
I think the Kings' defense was a little overstated going into the playoffs. Like, it wasn't great. No one was expecting it to be great. But it's not like they're a bunch of slobs, It's not like they're getting beat off the dribble every time. It's not like they're giving up open threes every possession. But
Well, and I mean,
not a fantastic squad, but they're not, like, worst in the league.
yeah, their defense. I mean, giving up points kind of comes with that offense, too.
Yeah.
The Warriors were running this offense with one of the best defenses in the league. You got Draymond. You got the best team of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to exclude that. But running a Golden State Warrior-like offense, like the Kings do, you're going to give up points. I think they can lock in and make stops like they did. They have guys who can do it. I mean, Harrison Barnes, even in his old age, is still a pretty good defender.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes looked pretty good.
Yeah, Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell.
Yeah. They got weapons.
Yeah, they do have weapons.
Trey Lyles showed out, and I didn't even know Trey Lyles was still playing basketball on an elite level until this season.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think that whole team looks good. I'm sticking with Warriors in 7, but I think that's going to be a very good series.
Yeah.
Every single game.
Honestly, that was the only series that I switched.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with everything day one except for the Kings. Something about them.
Yeah.
Well, home court advantage in that series, I think could determine every
yeah.
single win.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, the atmosphere in there is
Yeah.
absolutely electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do not want to play Kings when they're at home.
No, I mean, just the environment. I mean, this is a playoff crazy city. This is the most entitled fan base in the league right now versus the most starving, hungry dog fan base in the league right now.
Absolutely.
It's so fun to watch.
Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but if the Kings make it out of the series, I think their next opponent, whether that be Memphis or the Lakers, is going to have some trouble.
I don't want to jump ahead, but I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Well, moving on to that series, we got the Grizzlies taking on the Lakers. This is another one I've gone to 7 games.
Yep.
I think the Lakers are going to win this one in 7.
I completely agree with you.
I had the Grizzlies in 7. This was, before, going down one game at home before the injuries, but I'm still confident in that. I think the Grizzlies just have a little bit of the edge on the Lakers in this series.
Yeah, and injuries are definitely something to monitor.
Oh, for sure.
Because the Grizzlies started out without Steven Adams and Brandon Clark,
Yeah.
which are 2 pretty big losses for them, especially Adams.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw, for both teams, a huge injury. Anthony Davis, his shoulder, he's questionable for the rest of the series. He returned in the game. I don't think he took a shot after he returned.
No,
correct?
I don't think he did.
So, something to worry about. I think he'll play. I see him playing.
Yeah.
But definitely something to monitor. John Morant, he's listed as questionable, and I think his future in the series is a little more in jeopardy.
Oh, yeah. It looked
yeah.
pretty bad when he went down.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the Grizzlies don't have Morant, I think the Lakers take this in less games than 7.
Yeah.
I'd agree,
I
but
would
if
agree.
John Morant just misses like a game or 2, I still think the Grizzlies are going to get it.
Yeah, but I mean, the Lakers are, in my opinion, the hottest team in the NBA. They
Probably.
since the trade deadline, they have the best record in the West. Y'all know that?
Yeah,
Best record in the West. I think there were people overrating them, kind of coming into it, like, the Lakers are gonna, go to the finals, all that. They're not that good.
They
I don't
shouldn't
think
be.
they're that good. But I don't think they're a first round exit this year.
And this
Even
is
as a 7th seed.
This is not the LeBron of old that's taking the ball down the court every possession, looking for guys, yamming on people. There's times in the game where he just kind of hangs out at the top of the court.
Yeah.
Like, this is not infinite energy LeBron. I mean, obviously, it's still LeBron. He's positive on the floor, but it's not
Yeah.
like he's probably not a top 5 player in the league right now. So I think all their players are a little overrated in the media because it's an LA team, but
Yeah.
solid roster throughout. It's tough to play against.
Yeah, the Anthony Davis is going to have to be monitored for this series. He was huge for them.
Yeah.
7 blocks versus the
Yeah.
Grizzlies.
3
Great
steals
stat
too.
The only guy that could really guard Jaren Jackson Jr. in that game. Lakers struggled in the paint when Davis was out, so he needs to stay healthy. I think the Lakers all around they have a good team. Like you said, they're gonna get overrated. They're gonna get the media attention. They're gonna get all that. It's the Lakers. It's gonna happen with any team. They were getting that same stuff when Brandon Ingram was a rookie.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen. But I think the Lakers have guys who can step up, as we saw today. Rui Hachimura had a 25-plus point game. Austin Reeves had a great game. I think the Reeves is great. Austin Reeves has been great for a while now. He's gonna get paid this offseason. He's gonna get a large bag this offseason. Well deserved. Should be. He's been playing out of his mind. So that'll wrap up the West first round. I think we'll move on to. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to do the West second round, or you want to do the East? East. Doesn't matter. We'll start with the East. The East first round. Milwaukee, Miami. This game just wrapped up. We just watched the end of this before recording. He took a game, which originally I had the Bucks in 4. I had the Bucks sweeping. Assuming everyone's healthy. Now that Giannis, again another injury we have to monitor. I think I have the Bucks in 7. That's
Me too. I mean, I had the Bucks in 5 going into this. With the Giannis injury, I guess I'm gonna back the Bucks in 6, but I think they're gonna, they're just gonna, reset their mental. I mean, you lose a leader like Giannis on the floor.
It's going to hurt you, but I think they can rally back and finish the series against the Heat.
Right, and like we saw in the game that they just played, after Giannis went down, the Bucks especially offensively, just looked really bad.
Yeah, they looked a little stale for
But
sure.
they kind of got back into it later in the game. They brought it down to 3, and then it kind of got away from them. But I think over the course of a series, I think they can win versus the Heat, even without Giannis.
One concern I had going into the playoffs was Chris Middleton. I didn't know what Chris Middleton we were going to get this year with all the stuff that's been going on to him. He had a 30-plus point game. He really took that next step when Giannis went out. That's good to see if you have any Bucks future, any Bucks stake. But I still have the Bucks cleaning this one up.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said, Middleton looked great. Brooke Lopez looked pretty solid too. I think they'll get it done. You know, Tyler Hero's out too. It's a huge loss for Miami, a team that already has what looks like 0 offensive creation. So Tyler Hero is going to be a big loss for them, and that's another series.
I didn't think the Knicks were gonna get a road win because they're not able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, New York's a pretty relatively easy place to play in because it's New York. You probably have some fans there.
Everyone plays well in New York.
Exactly. I mean, everybody wants to play in the mecca of basketball at the end of the day. But I mean, I don't want to overshadow I don't want to foreshadow anything that's going to happen in the future of my takes. But these are 2 of the most slept-on teams in the NBA for me.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this series, I mean, I think they can do some serious damage. I have big favor in both these teams. Knicks, great offensively. Cleveland, great defensively.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard for any team. Matchup nightmares on both sides.
I'll tell you what, though. Now, Giannis's injury, like I said, I have the Bucks in 7. The Heat could pull it off. That injury is huge for the Cavs and the Knicks. Whichever team advances, I think, has a legitimate shot at beating the Bucks.
Now,
I would agree.
I'm gonna do what I didn't do last time, and I'm gonna announce my pick. As I said, I didn't change from day one. I had the Cavs beating the Bucks in the next round, regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happened. I know that's a little strange coming from me, the Giannis MVP guy. I had talking about my championship favorites, but the more and more I looked at it, I really looked at every team in the playoffs this year, and I just couldn't see the Bucks beating a Cavs team without a huge fight. Yeah. And I thought it was a coin flip, and I'm going to side with the underdog just to be a little quirky, a little special maybe. But I think the Cavs would have gotten it done. And, if Giannis is healthy, I want to see it. Knicks, Cavs, whoever gets there, it's going to be a fantastic series.
I think Cleveland does pose a tough matchup for whichever team comes next for them, if they win.
Well, Cleveland can play any 29 teams in the NBA, and it's a matchup nightmare.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it might be the most talented roster in the league, just very young, very little experience. Yeah. This team is special.
Yeah, it's like special.
It's like the Kings, but in the East, and take all their offensive.
And they're not getting talked about enough.
No, they're slept on. They've been slept on the whole season. They're like the afterthought in the East. Like it's the big 3 and then no one else. The Cavs are special, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Knicks,
Donovan Mitchell, always a playoff performer.
Oh my gosh, he's a gamer.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see him throughout the playoffs. I got Cavs in 7. You do as well.
Yeah.
Peter, Cavs in 7.
Yep.
But major concern, I could see the Knicks taking it.
I could too. I could too. This is a series I flip back and forth, similar to Kings
could definitely
Warriors.
go either way. Right. Knicks are heavily underrated. Cavs are heavily underrated. I'm excited.
Next series, I don't think there's going to be much debate about this one. I got Philly in 5 over Brooklyn.
Yep, me too.
I got Philly in 4. I got a sweep here.
Yeah. 4 or 5. I think the Nets can take a game. I mean,
I don't see enough. Like Bridges is amazing. Obviously, they got like a few great role player guys. There's just not enough talent here to take away from one of the most talented teams in the league. They got no body for Giannis. Notice I said body because Nicholas Claxton's going to get bowled over in every single game here. He can't take that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't see it being much of a series.
Yeah, I mean, even in a Joel Embiid down game, he had, you know, a light 20 points in the first game. The Nets still lost by 20.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Philly made their franchise record in the postseason for threes, and it didn't even look like they were really trying that much.
Then watch, they're gonna do it this series once they face the Celtics.
Oh, it's over. They're shooting like 4%.
Then they're making their franchise low in threes for a playoff series. It's terrible. It's Philly basketball at its best.
Oh yeah.
I do think for this series, Brooklyn can take a game. Bridges could go for three. Cam Johnson for 20, whatever. Same thing as Anchor. Yeah. Not too much debate about that series. The next one I also think won't have much debate to it. Boston, Atlanta. I have Boston 4. I've got Boston 4 too. I got Boston 5. But honestly, it could only be 4. I mean, that's a gentleman's sweep. It's not much of a series. Just give them one in their hometown. Call it a day. Yeah. If, you know, Trae Young's going to go for 40 or something. Yeah. I mean, and the Hawks,
They're gonna live and die by the three. They died by it in game one. They shot, I think it was a combined 17%.
Yeah,
from three.
Nothing special.
They were 0 for 9 to start from three in the first quarter. It's just a team like that you're not gonna win.
No,
especially for
you're not
Boston.
Gonna win. I mean, we saw the apex of it when Chris Paul was in Houston when they shot like 100 threes a game.
Right.
And that team was supposed to be good,
And then
they
you missed
fizzled
27
out.
straight.
Yeah,
you get eliminated.
That's just how it is.
That's what happens.
You can't live and die by the three.
Right. So now into the second round. I think this is where things get interesting. I think most of the first round matchups, there's some good matchups.
Yeah.
But I think the second round is where it really gets hairy. We'll start off Denver versus Phoenix. I have Phoenix in 6.
I've got Denver in 7, only because it's the hardest place to play in the NBA. I think this is finally the season where the Nuggets can break through, and I don't think the Suns' chemistry is going to be ready by then. They've played like 9 games before the playoffs, and the Nuggets are no slump. Like, people are acting like this is just, they're just another team. They're not just another team. I hate on Jokic as much as everyone else, but it's just, I can't see a situation where Jokic doesn't perform sooner or later. I think this is the series, and I think this is where he proves. And, I'm in my Kenneth Faried jersey, too. I was prepared for this. But I've got the Nuggets at 7.
Yeah, I think DeAndre Ayton's a bad matchup for Jokic.
Oh, for sure. But it's not like...
That, yeah.
It's DeAndre Ayton. He's not going to drop, like, 30 and 20 every game.
Right.
So I think they can,
I mean, defensively. I think Jokic is going to feast on Ayton.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, sure. Why not? He can feast. He's feasted on everyone he's played so far.
Yeah. And, KD's only played 8 games with the Suns this far. You're right. Chemistry is the biggest concern with them.
Yeah.
Because talent alone, I think they are the most talented roster.
For sure.
Yeah.
But chemistry is going to be an issue versus probably a top 3 team in chemistry in the Denver Nuggets.
For sure.
And you got the Kings up there, the Warriors maybe, but...
One thing people don't talk about enough is the Suns don't really have depth. Like, it's their starting lineup, and then there's, like, a few guys off the bench that, they're good. But it's nothing you want to take into a postseason. I mean, they've got that starting lineup's killer. I mean, it's gonna hurt. But once they get into those reserves, I mean, there's a few guys you can pick apart, a few guys you don't really have to pay attention to on offense. And, KD's injury prone. You never know. He's going to twist his ankle in warm-ups and be out the whole series. You don't know with this team. And the Suns have shown it before that they're not the best in the playoffs. And, Chris Paul's getting older. I just think this is the Nuggets series. I think this is the Nuggets year.
Yeah,
me personally, I disagree. All right, I have Phoenix in 6. I'm tired of trusting the Nuggets in the playoffs, and I think it's all coming together here for Phoenix. I think they're going to take this game in 6. I think you had that right.
I had Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix in
I have
6.
Phoenix in 6. I think so much is going to go right for them. Honestly, I just have that gut feeling. I think they're going to beat the Nuggets in 6. I think kind of what you were saying. I don't like the matchup, to be honest, between Ayton and Jokic. I think Jokic might be able to feast on, Ayton quite a bit, but I think that all the other firepower that this Phoenix has around their roster, I think it's going to get them by.
Yeah,
And I
no,
got
I
them
agree.
6.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, on paper, yeah, that makes sense. But we got to look beyond the paper here. You got to go, teams that make these big trades at the All-Star break, right at the trade deadline, they don't really formulate that well in the playoffs. I mean, Denver has been put together for years now. They've been hurt by injury every season. Now, unlike you, I've never trusted Denver till this point. This is the point where I'm saying this is the year. But I truly think Jokic is a special player. I think this is a special team. I think this is a well-coached team.
Mhm.
I think they're just going to get it done.
Yeah, that one's going to be another exciting series.
Yeah,
for
Denver,
sure.
Denver has added a lot of talent around the edges. KCP, Bruce Brown. I think they could get it done. Although I have the Suns, I think Denver could get it done. Moving on, we have the second round between the winner of the Kings-Warriors series versus the winner of the Grizzlies-Lakers series. Now, Peter, I say you have the Kings-Lakers. I have the Warriors-Lakers. And Nate, you have...
Kings, Grizzlies.
Right. So we all have different matchups here. Peter, talk about yours first.
So I have the Lakers beating the Kings in 7. I love the Kings, right? I really do. Something about the Kings, right? They're so awesome, right?
Yeah.
You can't
Mhm.
not love the Kings. Another thing, they're great at home. They're great at home, and they want to be at home. I mean, they have such a good atmosphere in there. But something about the Lakers, if I'm trusting Anthony Davis to stay healthy, I don't know why.
That's a tall task.
I know it's
That's
a very tall task.
task.
But with this team that the Lakers have formed, just like you said, I mean they're the hottest team in the NBA right
They
now,
are.
in my opinion. With these new additions at the trade deadline, I mean they've improved so much, and I think that the Lakers are going to take this in 7, which I was saying earlier. I mean, it comes down to experience for me. LeBron is the most experienced player in the NBA history in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's going to help him a lot. And Anthony Davis, he's incredible no matter where he's playing, when he's playing.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get by the Kings in 7.
Let me hop in here. I've got the Kings. I want to defend them for a second here. I don't care if it's the Grizzlies. I don't care if it's the Lakers. Neither of those teams is built to handle the minigun, the absolute assault rifle that is the Kings. I don't give a damn who they play. I got Kings in 6. They're lighting the beam 4 more times, and it's going to be a Sacramento Denver finals, and the media will hate it.
Now for me personally, I just flipped my pick back and forth twice here. I think the winner of the Kings-Warriors game is going to beat the winner of the Lakers-Grizzlies game. I have Warriors versus Lakers, which, oh my god, contrary to the Nuggets-Kings final series, the media is going to love this one.
Oh, the media's
Steph
going to
Curry
eat that
versus
up.
LeBron? Are you kidding me?
That's
Yeah.
a series they've always wanted.
I think this series, I think the winner of the Kings Warrior series is going to move on to the Western Conference Finals. I have the Warriors beating the Lakers. If they can get past the Kings, I think they get past the Lakers in 7.
I mean,
The Lakers are good. I think the Warriors are better.
what Peter said, they're the hottest team in the league right now. The only thing, that can take out heat is ice. And they've got the coldest player in the league on their team in De'Aaron Fox. And it's going to be over. They can't win a game in Sacramento.
Right, and you can talk about home court advantages and disadvantages for the Kings and Warriors.
Yeah.
Where they play plays a huge factor in both teams' performances. The Lakers at home, they don't have the same sort of home atmosphere as
No.
any other team in the league. The Kings are going to eat them alive home and away. The Warriors are going to eat them alive home and probably away.
Yeah.
The Lakers, that's going to play a big influence, I think, in the Lakers postseason.
Yeah.
And I have the Warriors moving on.
I just trust LeBron. That's where I'm at.
I mean, I'll tell you, if the Lakers and Kings make it into the same series, that ticket in Sacramento is the hottest ticket in the NBA. That
Right.
might be the most fun game to go to.
Right. So moving on to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Peter, we'll start with you. What do you got?
I got Milwaukee over Cleveland in 6.
I do too.
I think awesome. I think that Milwaukee, by this time, at the end of this round, especially if it goes to 7 games, I think Giannis will be back and fully healthy. I think a Giannis-led Bucks is just so good.
Well,
You know,
I'll tell
it's-
you what. Giannis's injury determines almost my entire bracket.
I
for sure.
honestly, I agree with most of that.
Yeah.
I have a kind of a wild card.
I see
thrown
what
in
you
here.
got there.
Yeah, but I got Milwaukee over Cleveland in 6. Now I'm not saying Cleveland doesn't have the ability to pull it off because I think they might.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I mean they're so built defensively.
Mhm.
You know, if they can hold Giannis to like 20 points a night, they might have a chance.
Yeah.
But like Giannis and the roster with him, you know, they've been together similar to Denver, honestly.
Right.
I mean, they've been together for years now, and Milwaukee won it all 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I trust him. You know,
Yeah.
I trust him to beat Cleveland here.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to change it to 7 games. I think Cleveland's going to pose a tougher threat. And Milwaukee's, for me, is going to a lot of 7-game series. But I think while Cleveland does have the ability to pull out a win, I think Milwaukee, out of any team in the East, can do the best at containing Donovan Mitchell. And I think they're just a little too young to beat Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But next year, talk to me next year. Because I got the Cavs going far next
Well,
year.
as I already said, I got the Cavs in 7 in this one.
Right.
I mean, I'll throw another analogy at you. This is like a runaway train running into several concrete walls. Giannis is going to try to ram into the post, ram right down the floor against Mobley and Allen. Sorry, and it's just I don't know how that's going to work for them. And if Giannis can't get it going, no one on that team's going to get it going. I mean,
Right.
Drew has his days, Middleton has his days, Lopez this season's had his days, Portis has had some days, but it's the Cavs. The Cavs not only have one of the best defenses, they have 2 electric guards in Garland and Mitchell
Right.
that can drop just a 30 bomb out of nowhere. And, you know, Mitchell's dropped 70. Like, this is
Yeah.
offensive potency, defensive efficiency. I don't think Milwaukee can pull it out. I love Milwaukee. Great team. I wouldn't say necessarily fun to watch. I don't really enjoy watching
No,
Milwaukee
not at
basketball.
all.
But I like Giannis. He's a likable guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm defense first and all that. But Cleveland, I think, is just going to get it done.
Moving on to the next round. Philly, I think we all have Philly versus Boston, correct?
Yeah.
I have Boston winning in 6. Nate.
I've got Boston in 7.
And Peter, what do you have?
I have the Philadelphia 76ers in 7 games.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
It's just, if Boston's going to make it, the Sixers just can't beat Boston.
The Sixers are terrible versus Boston.
Yeah, for no...
I would know.
It's just... For some reason, I've watched, I would say about half the Sixers games. I've been to 2 of them, and I've watched every Boston game this year. They need Embiid to drop like 50 points.
On Al Horford, the ultimate Embiid
Yeah,
stopper.
they need him to drop 50 points to barely scrape out a win.
Listen,
It's just, it's not in the cards for Philly. I love Philly. I love watching them. I love the team, but they just can't get it done against that level
Especially
of team.
Boston. I think you have them going up against the Bucks or something in the second round.
yeah.
I trust
Hey,
them against
then we
the
can
Bucks.
talk. Then we can talk. But it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
versus-
but it's Boston.
yeah.
And
Not versus
Boston, Boston has their number every year. I would love to see Boston lose. I hate Boston. It's a terrible city. I'm sorry for all of our Massachusetts viewers. But you're-
Boston strong.
yeah, but Boston sucks. No one likes Boston ever.
Yeah.
In sports, in the city, their accents suck. I hate them,
Honestly,
but they're gonna beat them. And that's
honestly,
the problem.
I'm not like taking back my pick or anything. I got Philly at 7, but my bias probably has a good bit to do with it because
it took a lot.
My bias has all to do with it. I know the Sixers are losing, no matter what.
I wanted to pick
Tatum's out, Brown's out, Rob Will's out. I don't care. Sixers are losing.
I think they actually have a lower Tatum and
Yeah.
Brown are out.
Yeah.
But I picked with my heart a little bit when I was talking about the Kings, but my heart can't carry me the whole way. It carried me to 7 games, I'll tell you that much. But there's no way they can pull it
'Cause
out.
I was
against
debating Boston either 5 or 6. Philly's going to struggle.
Yeah.
They take a game, maybe 2. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll move on to the Western Conference Finals here. Peter, tell us what you got in the West.
So I have Phoenix matching
Okay.
up against the Lakers.
Yep.
I got Phoenix. Jeez. I got Phoenix in 6. Okay.
Sure.
I don't think the Lakers' hot streak will last past this round. I think Phoenix is going to outmatch them. Honestly, maybe the Lakers can win the series, but I got Phoenix in 6. I mean, there's something about this Phoenix team. Like I was saying before, I'm so invested.
I'm with you. I think offensively and defensively, they are elite.
Yes.
They are really good.
Honestly. And my one hot take a few episodes ago. The Lakers might make it kind of far. And honestly, I have them going kind of far. But I think it ends here. I think it does. And, it's nothing against that team. I just think Phoenix is so much better.
Yeah.
Lakers got hot at the right time, but I like Phoenix that much more.
I will say, I know I was hating on Phoenix a little bit, but if Phoenix makes it to the conference finals, I don't think another team in the West can stop them. They've beaten any chance at stopping them in the West at that point.
Yeah.
The chemistry's going to be there, God forbid injuries. Hopefully those don't take place. It's the only thing I think can stop them if they make it to the finals.
Right, and I think for Phoenix, honestly, their schedule goes from toughest game versus the Clippers to still a tough game, but their second toughest game versus the Nuggets, and whoever they play in the conference finals is the easiest. I have them beating the Golden State Warriors in 6 games. Like Peter said, and like I was saying, offensively, defensively, they are elite. Injuries are the only thing that can derail them. Once you get to this point, you're playing 7 guys. You got Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton. You get into
Shaman?
into Shamet. You can play Shamet. You can play, Campaign's out for now. I think he'll be back by then.
Yeah.
Torrey Craig, sure. But I think I like this Phoenix team. They're really good. And I have them going to the finals.
I already stated my case against Phoenix and against the Warriors and against the Lakers. I think those are solid cases, but, the media can convince you otherwise. These guys can convince you otherwise. I'll tell you what the true Western Conference Finals will be. It'll be Nuggets and Kings, and it's going to be the Nuggets in 5. I don't think the Kings have enough firepower. I think it's going to fizzle out a little bit by then. They're going to be hot. They're going to be through 2 tough series. They're going to be beaten, battered, and bruised, and then you're going to have Walmart Jokic going against the real deal. You're going to have Jokic versus, Sabonis, and Jokic is a better center. I think everything the Nuggets do is just a slightly better version of the Kings. Now, the Kings' offense, better. But the Nuggets make up for that on defense. They run similarly good offensive systems.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets are just a more experienced team. They're a more talented team. They're equally coached. I just think the Nuggets will just blow past them if it gets to that point.
Yeah, I don't have either team going to the conference finals. Could happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, if those teams make it, I absolutely agree. I think the Nuggets would wipe the Kings in the series.
I know it's a little lame taking chalk, taking the 1 seed, but the betting odds don't have them as the 1 seed, so therefore, not chalk.
Right.
2 very low betting favorites, actually, to make the Western Conference Finals, but that's the way I see it.
Bet them.
I have.
Moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Peter, we'll start with you. What do you got?
I got Milwaukee and Philly, and Milwaukee's going to win in 6.
All right.
I think Philly, they don't match up poorly at all against Milwaukee.
I find it odd that you have Philly beating Boston and not Milwaukee.
Honestly, I think it's my bias. But, it's just whatever. But, yeah, I got Milwaukee over Philly in 6. You know what? We'll make that 7. We'll make it 7.
7 games, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? We're already here.
Yeah. But, yeah, I got Milwaukee over Philly in 7. They match up pretty well together, but Milwaukee did it 2 years ago. I think they're gonna do it again. I mean, they're just. I think it's Milwaukee's year to do damage in the Eastern
I agree.
Conference.
Giannis's injury completely will make or break my bracket.
Of course,
But I have Milwaukee beating the Celtics in 7 games.
Yep. Absolutely.
They're the better team. I think Boston has its obvious flaws. While they'll get past Atlanta and Philly pretty easily, in my opinion, the Bucks are the team that's gonna be that brick wall and stop them. I don't think Joe Mazzulla is that good. I don't think he's going to be like Ime Udoka last year, he's not going to coach them through the playoffs. You're going to get Tatum stinkers, Jaylen Brown stinkers, and you're playing Giannis. You're playing Giannis in the Bucks.
Of course.
It's one of the toughest matchups in the league. I got Bucks in 7.
I mean, I don't have the Bucks going that far. I have them losing to the Cavs. Now, I will say my answer on who's winning this series changes on if it's the Cavs or the Bucks. I would have the Bucks winning. Bucks aren't here. Cavs upset them. I've got Cavs, Celtics. I got Celtics in 6. What I said about the Bucks, I mean, the guard defense is just better for the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to see the kind of explosion you're going to get in that series. Obviously, Drew Holiday, fantastic player, heavily underrated. But they don't have a 2 guard there to help them. Whoever's getting guarded by Holiday, just give him to the other guy, let him cook.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking with the Celtics, you got the most underrated player in the league, Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
You got maybe one of the better wing defenders. He's up there for sure. Jason Tatum, great exploded. He's going to give you points. You got Rob Williams, great player. Hal Horford, great player. It's most depth any roster in the league right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
They have 10 to 12 people that can play in a playoff series.
Yeah,
which is huge.
Everyone there. I mean, Luke Cornett was getting minutes in the season, and Luke Cornett wasn't even a negative for him.
Right.
Like, if somebody gets injured on the Celtics, it's next man up. It's like a football team. You got 4 strings of players everywhere coming at you.
Yeah, I think unless Tatum, Brown, or Marcus Smart go down, I think the Celtics can stay alive.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Derek White has been super great for them this season.
And Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon has been great.
They've got 4 point guards
Al
that are good
Horford
enough
is
to
like
play.
top 3 in 3-point percentage at 40 years old. If they do play the Cavs, I got the Celtics winning, but give me Bucks.
I mean, I think Bucks Celtics play that might be, this is a bold take. This might be one of the greatest conference finals of all time if the Bucks and Celtics play.
It'll be very good.
It'll be back and forth the whole game, 7 games.
And these 2 teams have matched up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's always been great.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are the best team in the league, and I got them winning in the Eastern Conference in a pretty nonchalant form against the Cavs. It's a little tighter if it's Bucks, but I got Celtics and Nuggets in the finals.
All right. Well, we're on to the finals. Nate, I'm going to start with you because I think me and Peter might have the same thing here.
Yeah, you guys, similar finals. You guys, going on the page. I respect that. That's a good series. I think, that's no wrong picks there. Yeah. But I got Celtics, Nuggets, unpredictable in the West, very predictable in the East. I think, Celtics, Nuggets, going to be a great series, going to be a close series, going to be a smart series, great basketball minds on both sides.
I'll tell you what, I don't even know who I would pick in that series.
I do. Celtics in 7.
All right. It is a 7-game series, I'll tell you that.
I mean, I think what it comes down to is home court. I mean, I think it's going to be all home wins by both teams. Celtics have the better record. They're going to get home court in Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
Think they can get it done. Pretty open and shut, great series. Hard to project from right now till that May series what it's going to look like. But, if that happens, I'll be tuning into every game, and I'll be enjoying it, because either team that wins, I'm fine. I'm a happy camper. Yeah. Nuggets win, sure. Celtics win, sure. I hate Boston, like I said, but I don't really hate anybody on that team.
I like watching them play.
Yeah, I like watching the team. I'll put my bias aside. They've already won 102 championships, so it's not like if they get another one, I'm going to be upset. Bulls are already out, so I don't care about that anymore. Sixers, nice to see them win. They're not beating Boston, but yeah, it's going to be cool, but Celtics are your champions, in my opinion.
Now, how much do you have experience playing a factor in that series?
Well, I got experience playing a big factor the whole way through. That's why I got the Nuggets and Celtics. Those teams are battle-tested teams, and I think they're just the best battle-tested teams.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they've been through so much together that I think it kind of washes out a little bit. I think it's so close it washes out a little bit.
Yeah.
7-game series. Don't think there's really any upsets. I think you could probably take the favorite money line in each game, and it'll turn out well for you. I got the Celtics in 7.
I like that take. That would be a fun series to watch. Peter, I think we have the same thing here. I got the Bucks taking over the Suns in 7.
We've been saying it the whole episode. Giannis's injury is going to make or break this bracket.
Yep.
But you know what? If he's healthy, I think it's happening. I think it's the rematch of 2 years ago, and I think Milwaukee's taking it home.
Hey, it was a great series 2 years ago. Went to 6 games.
Absolutely.
Kevin Durant adds another game at least, possibly a championship. My only issue with that is I think that's where, the depth, sort of, the loss in the Kevin Durant trade comes into play. You get Kevin Durant in return, that's great, amazing. But Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson played huge roles in that Bucks-Sun series, despite the loss.
Yeah.
They were huge in that series for the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
And while I think, obviously, Kevin Durant's a better player, I think they're going to miss out on Bridges and Johnson in that series, and I got the Bucks taking that one.
Yeah.
My Finals MVP, I have Giannis.
Yep. I think if you have Milwaukee winning the finals, then Giannis has got to be your MVP.
I mean, I'll throw out my Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown, because I like him.
I don't hate that take, to be honest.
I mean, they got they're gonna stick, they're gonna stick KCP or Gordon on Tatum probably.
Yeah.
They don't really have a guy to guard Jaylen Brown, so I mean, once it gets to there, I think I'd probably be more Tatum focused, but I like Jaylen Brown more. So right now, I'm just gonna go Jaylen Brown.
Right. I think both those. I think whatever series it is, it's gonna be pretty exciting. The playoffs this year are amazing so far.
Great parity in the league right
Absolutely.
now. In the West, it's crazy that 1 through 7 could win the conference.
Right.
Like, you could make a case through 1 through 7. Maybe the Clippers are, a little bit out there. Timberwolves are, I don't think there's much of a chance.
Realistically, you can have the Nuggets, Suns, Clippers, Kings, Warriors, Lakers in the finals.
Yeah, and when's the last time you could say that for a conference? Right. And the East, similar thing. I think, you got the big three, and I think you could say Cavs and Knicks can make a good run. There's a lot of parity over there, and I like it.
We have our finals predicted. It probably won't be any of those teams.
Oh my gosh, it probably won't be.
It's going to be Sixers Kings.
It might be Sixers. If it's Sixers Kings,
we're going to a game if it's Sixers Kings.
That would be the single greatest series in NBA history if it became Sixers and Kings.
I am shelling out my bank account if it's Sixers Kings.
It would be. That might be my most favorite sports memory in my lifetime.
Call off work for the entire month.
I'm not going to school. I'm sitting in my house and preparing for each game.
Right.
And if it doesn't go 7, I'm probably gonna riot. Maybe blow up the NBA head office because I want to see 7 games of that series.
Rig it, please. Rig the series.
We need that series rigged if it happens.
Come on, please.
Pull through, Adam Silver.
All right, well, I think that will do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us wherever you're listening. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Prime Hoops. That is Prime Hoops with a Z at the end. We'll be back next week with a new episode, Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for watching.